Hey, it's Kelsey, a travel physical therapist with way too many miles on my car and not enough space in my suitcase.
And I'm Tristan, the guy holding the map, booking rentals along for the ride.
And this is Contracted and Committed, where we're going to share what it's like to build a life on the move without losing our minds, or I guess each other.
We've been together for about 10 years, married for over a year, and constantly figuring out how to make our love work while living out of suitcases, bouncing between zip codes.
And we say it all the time, and you probably heard it a lot. Home isn't a place, it's who you're with or where your heart is. And that's what this podcast is all about.
Also, travel fights. We'll talk about those too, because we've had a few.
Yep, you're going to hear it all. Well, let's jump into today's episode, our origin story from first date to first contract.
Our first episode here, we should probably talk about how our journey started, where we met.
Yeah, like who we are.
Who we are as people.
Yeah.
Started off meeting at college, Alma College, our sophomore year.
Oh yeah, we were so young. Time I actually hung out with you, I remember the ugliest sweatpants you were wearing.
They weren't even sweatpants, they were duck pajamas.
No,
and they were the best. Yes, they were. They were the duck pajamas made by my grandmother.
No, they were the black pair of pants.
Those were also pajamas.
Okay, well, they weren't very attractive, but we're still here together.
You track still around. So,
yeah.
It worked out in the end.
Yeah, in college, Tristan didn't really study as much as me, so...
Well, nobody has 3 majors like you sometimes, so...
Yeah, that's crazy. I was busy. Busy to get into PT school for sure.
Crazy that we even dated, just because how'd you even have time to fit me in with that schedule?
I don't know.
It was kind of relaxed for me. I don't know. I didn't have to do anything too hard. We just met for lunch most of the times and called it good there.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we kind of just met with mutual friends and kind of hit it off. I kind of felt like it was different. I don't know. I felt like I was nervous to meet you and nervous to get to know you, and that was
nervous?
Just different.
Yeah. It's because you're meeting a cute boy.
Sure, babe. Sure. Yeah, so we met there.
I'm surprised you even showed up when we first hung out. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. That's probably why I was still in the pajamas.
Yeah, we were supposed to watch a movie.
Yeah. It was good times.
Yeah, but we did. We went to Alma together. We met and dated shortly after meeting, and that's pretty much it. Like, I say triple major. It's technically not triple major. I just like to boost my ego a bit, I guess. I was a dance major and got my bachelor's in arts and dance, and then athletic training, which was like IPHS, like integrated health, physiology, and sciences, I think is what it
sounds close enough to me. I don't know.
I
didn't stay in that building at all. I stayed away from that building.
No.
I just did business. So I stayed in my one building and did my one thing.
Yeah, he did. He stayed in one building, but we got to like hang out with like at lunch and stuff though, but that was about it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes on the weekends when you had free time, which is rare.
Very rare, yeah, that is true.
Between your busy schedule and my tennis schedule is pretty tough sometimes to actually just find dates,
Yeah.
Find dates to have dates, I guess I should say.
Yeah. That is very true. It was hard, but we made it work and...
Because we considered our first date, which is probably a few dates after our actual first date.
Yeah.
That wasn't until right after New Year's, so January 1st was what we consider our first date.
And that's when we like started dating officially. I remember we were at your house and I said, okay, so what are we? And you said, I thought you were my girlfriend.
I mean, we've been hanging out and talking for like 2.5 months at that point, so it was close enough.
And I was like, no. And you're like, well, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I was like, I guess that's the best I'm going to get out of Tristan asking me.
I don't know. I never really thought about asking. I just assumed we'd eventually move to that point in our relationship and call it good there.
You assume too much, honey. Anyways, that was a lot about Alma.
Yeah.
So from Alma, I went to well, actually, I had a couple years off. I forgot about that. A
Yeah.
couple of years off, just working as athletic trainer. Tristan got a job.
Yep, worked in insurance. Still working in insurance, but started in insurance. My first job started in the same company that I currently work for, just different position.
Yeah, and he just unfortunately stayed at home. Fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know which way.
Gotta save that money to pay them loans, Nami.
Oh, I know. Yeah, stayed at home, and then I went to grad school. Finally, felt like it took forever to get there.
It's only what, like a year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah, it was like 2 years by the time. The application was like a year in advance from when you actually get in, so it's just like a long process. But got in there. We had it like, what was it called at grad school? It was like very short. Expedited?
Expedited?
I don't know if that's the right
For your program?
Yeah, it was like 30 months to get my doctorate, which was super fast. We didn't have a lot of time off.
But didn't you go year round, and that's why it was so quick versus the, 3 years that other schools seemed like?
Yeah. We had a smaller cohort too. We only had 30 with the other schools. They were more like 60, I wanted to say, if I remember, which is super nice. But
got to know people a little more there, huh?
Yeah. And then after I graduated there, we finally were able to move in together.
Yeah, it took you long enough. Jeez, I was sitting there waiting the whole time. I was like, okay, get out of undergrad, maybe we'll live together. No, she's doing AT and doesn't know what we're going to do yet. Oh, she wants to get in grad school. Okay, finally get in grad school. Still can't live together yet. Another 3 years. Okay, here we go, finally. About 5 years in our relationship here. We started living together or something like that.
Hey, I'm just an investment at that point.
That's what I'm saying, too. I was like, okay, she's going to be a doctor. We'll hold it down. Pay for meals.
Yeah, too bad my loans are crazy.
Get there, though.
It's okay. It's okay. It's worth it. Started a job and then decided we had some friends that were doing travel PT stuff, kind of message them, see how they liked it, and
you weren't very happy with your first PT job there. It's just very corporate and not very well structured for being such a corporate position, and felt like. And
well, I was split between 2 clinics, and I had a mentor, but she was at a different clinic that I never went to and saw, and I don't know, I felt like I was getting very stale, linear with my progress and my profession, and I was like, well, I don't like feeling this. I've been in school for so long, I want to continue to feel like I'm growing, especially as a new grad. I feel like
you should learn something in your first job, not just be thrown into 2 brand new clinics and have no materials to use. A very terrible EMS system, is that what it's called?
EMS, yeah.
Heck yeah. EMR, darn it. Okay,
close.
EMR system, and
yeah, it was rough.
Not enjoying it. But you are also teaching dance.
On top of that, yeah.
Made you pretty busy. I don't know how I even saw you then. We lived together.
I don't think we saw each other when I was living.
I didn't see you till you got in bed at 9, maybe.
Yeah, literally. Sometimes 10, because I worked 10-hour shifts at the clinic, and then, that was wild. Anyways, all of that to say that we found a recruiter that we absolutely love, and a company that does traveling, and we've been doing that ever since, and it's been great, to be honest with you. I don't what was appealing to you for for travel, yeah, when we were deciding.
Probably the most appealing thing was just kind of explore the country a little more and live in different places and not be committed to those places for very long. It's okay, we can get in, we can get out, a little hit and run action.
Yeah, that's true. Being able to see a lot while we're so young and not settled down with a family or anything, I think was good. And the money helps too, for sure.
Yeah, especially with paying back those loans.
Yeah, try to get those down as low as we can before setting up for
the rest of our lives, I guess.
Yeah, that's weird to say. But yeah, for sure. I think it took us, I don't remember, did it take us a long time to decide, or was it, I don't know, I think we took a week maybe.
I think it was a little longer than a week.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was a couple of weeks. But it was closer to the end of the year because we started travel at the beginning of
January.
Yeah, that January.
Of 2024. Yeah.
Yeah, 2024.
Feels like we've been doing it a lot longer than that.
Yeah, there's just been a lot that's happened between, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I think you were a little shocked at first when I was
was surprised you wanted to do it because you're a very structured person.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
To have something that was so, I guess, not really structured or like questionable, we don't really know exactly where we're going next until pretty much a month before we're supposed to leave for the place. We don't necessarily always know where we're living. Yeah. We don't know how well the town is because we're going to different states, so it's not like we know people there. So when you said you're willing to do that, I was like, oh, surprise, coming out your shell a little bit there, huh?
Well, I guess we probably should also mention that you work from home, so...
Yeah, that helps quite a bit.
That helps. It wasn't like, oh, what is Tristan going to do for work? It's like, oh, I have work. And...
Yeah. That has helped quite a bit. Being able to just kind of tag along wherever you go. And my company's very flexible with that. As long as I let them know what state I'm working in, they can take the taxes out appropriately.
Yeah, taxes.
And my boss is really cool about it too. So she's like, go out there, explore, visit different states, live in different states, make sure you settle down in the area you want. So
I guess like we have a lot of supportive people around us for this decision we made too. Mm-hmm. My family is really supportive. Your family, your boss, other friends
were supportive.
Yeah. Because it's kind of a big plunge, a big jump to make for sure. But we discussed it with a lot of our friends just to kind of see like their thoughts, even though we already had the decision that we were going to do it.
Yeah.
But I think they all were like, yeah, go do it. Like, this is a great opportunity, not only to see the world, but for me as a profession to see, like, what's out
works
there.
In different clinics, in different hospital settings, or in this case that we're currently at a school setting. It's like, are these things that had you considered prior to doing travel? Like, had you considered school settings? Had you considered hospital-based, anything like that?
I mean, I always thought I would be, like... I don't know, before grad school, I thought I was going to do, like, just outpatient ortho with my athletic training background. I was like, oh, yeah, that would be, what I'd want to do. During clinicals, got in there, absolutely hated it. It was so, like, repetitive that I was like, oh, I couldn't do this for the rest of my life.
Is that the only reason you hated it, was the repetition?
Oh.
More the people, maybe.
Well, we can say that Kelsey doesn't love adults.
Yeah.
I like the little ones, the peds, the kiddos. They're so cute.
Especially the babies, huh?
Oh, the babies. Early intervention is kind of my thing. I love it. I love when I can pick up a patient and move them where I need to move them.
Probably makes it a little easier with the stretchings and all the things you have to do, huh?
Easier, but also harder at the same time. Pros and cons.
Hard for them to communicate back if it's working or if they're feeling something.
100%.
Not being able to talk, so.
Well, they communicate.
I guess in different cries.
They might scream at me. Yeah, so that's kind of how we've all started, and it was pretty exciting, but very nerve-wracking starting travel, because we're like, what is it going to be? Where are we going?
Are we finding contracts we like? I think that was one of the biggest worries. Like, are we going to find a contract in a place we like while being able to get you pediatrics? Are we going to be able to find those contracts like quickly in a way that when we do have another one coming up, are we stressing about it at the last second? Like, okay, now we snap decision over to this place. Are we able to kind of plan it out a month or two in advance, which seems to kind of be the theme?
Yeah, we have been trying to do like a month in advance. When it gets like less than a month, Kelsey gets a little scared. But that's just because I'm very structured. Yeah. But I've been better.
True.
I've been better. I've
been. And a recruiter helps a lot too. Joy is very communicative and helpful with figuring out
everything.
Our next spot, how to live there, all that good stuff. So
yeah, fill the little holes of unemployment.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing. We love her. Okay, this part of the podcast, I don't know what I want to call it, or what we should call it. Like a couple check-in. I hate that.
I'll call it Kelsey's check-in segment.
Ooh, sassy.
Yeah, just put that one on repeat every time this section comes up.
Okay, say it again.
Kelsey's check-in segment.
Woo! Ooh, I added some claps. You like that?
No.
Okay, well, anyways. So pretty much it's just a question, and we kind of can, like, talk about a question about our life. So
Yeah.
this is a specific question. Jeez Louise, sorry. I have a lateral lisp, my speech pathologist friends tell me, so...
Do you know?
Yeah. So sorry, my friends. Anyways, the question is, okay, real quick. If you go back and tell your younger self one thing before that first move, what would you...
For our first move to Indiana.
Yeah, like for travel.
Yeah, don't eat that Chinese food.
That's
Food poisoning was the worst experience.
That's
of
true.
that entire
Okay. Okay, I'll
But in real,
that.
to actually answer the question, it's like, I guess it's you don't need as much as what you think.
Yeah.
Because you can truly live out of a suitcase. We can fill one Chrysler Pacifica with all the stuff that we need. And I think the first, and us and a dog. Because like the first time we moved to Indiana, we had like 2 cars full of stuff. We had 2 smaller cars, but still, I think it was more stuff than what we have now.
Yeah, we just didn't know. Mm-hmm. We had more clothes.
True.
I feel like we brought, but now we're just like, meh, you're going to see us in the same clothes, sorry.
Yeah, it's like, good luck. Yeah, and then other than that, get a rice cooker.
You love your rice cooker.
It's like my favorite thing. Rice cooker's the best. You just pour some rice in it, pour some water in it, pop it down, come out to freshly cooked rice.
No, walk away for 2 hours, forget about it, come back, and oh, there's rice here.
Isn't that still awesome? Just rice ready for you?
Yeah, for real.
So what do you think? What's your one advice to your first move?
I like the Chinese answer. That was good.
Yeah.
You're witty.
Don't eat the Chinese.
Yeah. We were just so tired of... We were moving all of our stuff to your parents' house, and we're like, we gotta eat. We have not ate. Mm-hmm. And then we just grabbed Chinese. And we have always ate at this Chinese place. But for some reason, that one time...
Just got us.
Yeah, it was bad timing to get food poisoning.
I thought of another one.
Oh, shoot, okay.
More time between when you're supposed to start.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we moved in, was Saturday, and you started Monday?
For the first one, I had a couple days off.
Did you?
Yeah, that saved us. That really saved us.
Yeah, the sickness, it saved us. We got lucky there.
Yeah.
But yeah. So,
a
couple days between getting to the place you're going to live and then starting your first position, because that can be rough transition.
Yeah. I think mine would be wait until you get there to figure things out, too. Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of stuff you don't know, right? Until you get there.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that came to mind was my first one. There was like a specific color scrub we were supposed to buy. And so I bought some off Amazon with like the specific color name. But then I got there and I was like, my color is not the same as everyone else's color, but it's the same name. And I wish I would have just waited and then like went to their specific hospital
website
shop
or whatever.
Yeah, or site to get like the specific color. It was like a weird green blue color. And I was like, I don't think no one said anything and I didn't go buy anymore, but I was like, wow, I kind of was like a tiny bit off, but
yeah, they're probably like, oh, that's just the traveler.
Yeah, literally. They're probably like,
she's fine, she's not gonna be here long.
That's true. They probably didn't care, but I cared. I wanted to do everything right.
Yeah. And so, especially with your first one, you wanted to make sure that everything went as smoothly as possible, and you're probably a little nervous, right? Going into your first one?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I didn't know what to expect. It was nice, though, because our friend, Noah and Liv, they're getting married soon, but they travel together as PTs. She worked at this one before me, so she could, like, tell me a little bit about it.
The lowdown, the little deets.
Yeah, so that was super nice. I think Noah was there, too. Yeah. He was just on the outpatient side, and
correct.
Liv was in the peds. Yeah. So it was kind of nice. Like, it kind of eased a little bit of my anxiety about it. Or just, like, uncertainty, since it's, like, the first one. Like, I don't know how things work. Like, are they going to throw me in all of a sudden? Do I get orientation? Anyways, to revert back, basically, my answer... See, I don't even remember my answer, because I just went off on a tangent here.
Well, my answer, get a rice cooker, bring it with you, make sure it's small. No big rice cookers, just small rice
No
cookers.
Chinese.
No Chinese. I got 2, I guess.
Yeah. And mine was to wait until you get there to figure things out. Stop trying to be the person that plans everything before it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Which...
Make sure you have all the facts before you start doing things.
Yeah. Well, I thought I did. I do feel like, I don't know, it started off really kind of rocky, to be honest. I really thought, like, oh, wow, like, the first, like, month, I was like, oh, is this really what we want to do? I think it was scary.
That was the Indiana contract, right?
Yeah,
that was our first one?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it didn't start too hot because when we first moved into a place, we both got food poisoning. So we're having to haul our stuff up 3 flights of stairs while both throwing up, and it was just a miserable experience.
In January, mind you.
January,
in the Midwest, like.
In Indiana. It was just like, it was awful. It was disgusting. And
that's true.
At that point, we were just like, let's just get everything inside the apartment and then fall asleep.
Then that's what we did, yeah. And Izzy, our double doodle, little baby doggy, she was like, where are we? What are we doing? I'm so confused. Like, it was a little crazy. Yeah. But for me, it was more that the fact that the first week at that clinic, Grandma passed away.
Oh, that's true.
And then I was like, oh, wow, like, I'm not around my family for all this. So we had to pack up and go for that funeral. And then a couple months later, Grandpa passed away. And I feel like I was just, like, defeated. I was like, man, is the universe telling me I shouldn't
like we leave
do
and
this?
Immediately this happens. And it's just heartbreaking. And had to make a lot of trips back home, which we hadn't originally planned.
Yeah. And that drive was brutal. It was, like, 2 hours of back roads and then finally a highway.
Yeah, and then like another 2.5 hours of highway driving.
Oh.
It wasn't very fun, that's for sure. It was on that cusp where it's like, should we fly home? But no. Yeah. We would have spent more time in the airport than it would take to just drive there, but it's still miserable of a drive every time we had to do it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's I don't know, I feel like under 3 hours, it's like, okay, we can travel back home. Like, in that 3 hour around our home radius. Anything over that, it's like, it, like, takes a full weekend or...
It's like, we're not coming home very often, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like we might as well go across the United States at that point, you know? That's how I feel. I don't know if you feel the same.
I feel very similar, yeah. Because if we're not visiting home, it's like, might as well be far, far away. If we're not going to be visiting.
Right, so. Exactly. And that's the hard decisions.
This is, the contract we're currently in North Carolina is really the only one that we have been far, far away in. Because we have the Indiana one. We've only really had, 3 contracts now?
Yeah, this is our 3rd one. But this one's super long. This is 10 months because of school. It's like the full year. It's a little longer than I like. But it's nice just to know that, like, we have a contract for that long. So, I don't know, it's a give or take for sure. I think
it just felt longer because we're so far away from friends and family that it's like, we're fine with doing like 3-month stints away from friends and family and then being able to like go back and visit for a little while before our next contract starts. But in this case, we went from one contract to marriage to honeymoon into the next contract right away.
Yeah.
And there was no really like downtime to visit friends and family, and then we just kind of been plopped here, and to get back home is not very easy either.
No.
So it just wasn't realistic to be able to travel back very often. So you got any PT tips for us or anything like that? Anything comes to mind after the stuff you've done so far, the different places you've been?
Yeah, we can try to do like a tip each podcast and see how it goes. The first one, I feel like it's like a game changer for your contract. It's like find your portable piece. So bringing something with you that reminds you of home or that just kind of fulfills that piece of being in a new environment. So like maybe like a favorite book, a playlist that you really like, a small self-care routine, like bringing that with you. Just having something familiar kind of to turn the chaos of new places and new patients, new friends.
Help you de-stress a bit, huh?
Yeah, it can make the difference. Like, creating a little sense of home in the middle of the travels can help you recharge and, like, stay grounded. And I think that's helped us. I feel like I go to the gym, make sure I'm going to the gym. I'm a Planet Fitness membership, Black Card member, which is nice because I can bring Tristan with me as my...
Yeah, I don't even need the membership. I
No.
just tag along. Like, here we go.
So that's nice. I think that's what I do. I don't know anything else other than that I kind of... I mean, I always have my books, my...
Oh, your smut books?
No! They're not all smut, first off. Second, no, I'm saying with the downloadable ones. What is that word?
Audiobooks.
Yeah, no.
Ebooks.
Ebooks. Jeez Louise, Kelsey. I'm losing my shit today.
Doctorate, by the way.
Yeah, we can't use that when I act stupid. Only when I'm smart about something.
You're right.
Anyways, yeah. So I have ebooks that I really enjoy. I love having, like, physical book, but it's just hard to travel with. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything that you always bring if it's like routine or an item?
Well, my personal computer I always bring because I do game quite a bit and it helps me stay connected to friends and gives me something to do that's just kind of consistent from place to place to place. Just got to make sure we have good internet connection.
Yeah.
But that's also for work too. Got to make sure I have an internet connection for that. But that's probably a thing that Oh, my chair.
I'm about to say your chair.
My chair might be the biggest thing.
Gosh.
I just spend so much time in that chair. I gotta make sure it's comfy. So that's probably my biggest thing.
He's talking about his desk gaming chair, basically.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's a fight. We can get into that in a different podcast.
It's not a fight.
We can get into it in a different podcast. About fights, maybe, later on. I just think it's unnecessary. But anyways... So that's the only thing that you can think of? Do you have like a routine or anything?
In terms of a routine, I guess golf as much as I can.
Yeah, it's nice here in North Carolina.
Yeah, that's the trick. Go south in the winter so you can keep golfing.
That's true. Yeah, I think it's just helpful for PTs or anybody traveling or going to a new place to make sure that you have something that reminds you of home or that maintains...
Keeps you grounded, I guess you could say.
Yeah, maintains consistency throughout different places. Because it's really hard. You can, like, go to a new place and then your whole life flips and you're like, oh, wait.
There's just so much change. Yeah. Especially when you're, like, going to states you don't even know. It's like, we don't know what to expect because you've never been there or we don't even know anybody that lives there. It's like,
right.
You really got to make sure you have something that you can just bring along with you and keeps you comfortable and helps out through the tougher times.
Yeah, that's true.
But we have had family come and visit us. I mean, my dad and brother drove your car down so they could see us for all of like 6 hours while being here, then have a miserable experience traveling home because their flight got delayed into canceled into delayed into canceled.
Yeah, there was a big storm that went over.
Yeah.
That they couldn't
And then
fly
your mom
out.
visited for a week, which was real nice. So it was nice seeing her. So it's like we had a little dash of family in there while we were down here.
But you just stuck with me for 10 months.
Yeah, me and you. We get used to each other, don't we?
Yeah. Until Tristan tells me that he, when we go back home, he doesn't want to see me.
I never said that. I said, I want to go hang out with some friends and get some boy time in.
Without me.
Maybe without you, yeah.
How rude.
It's not just like that I don't want to see you. I love seeing you. I love hanging out with you, clearly. I love doing it because, I mean, we've done it for this past 10 months together. So, and it's been a joy pretty much the entire time. But it is, you know, you do kind of miss your friends and family and want to be able to see them. And sometimes you just want to hang out with some of your boys.
Yeah.
And just do some dumb shit, you know? Want to just go golfing with like 4 of your boys or go and visit them in their town, get a little drunk one night and hang out, play video games. I know. It sounds real exciting to you, I bet.
That sounds terrible to me. At least you have friends.
You have friends.
Some friends. You just have way more friends than me.
I do have a lot of friends. I just got very lucky.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends in high school that I care deeply for. They're in my wedding.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with them. I got met a lot of friends in college through the tennis team, and being able to just, I don't know, stay close to them the whole time, be in group chats, talk over Discord online.
Yeah, you have time to do that.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Really...
That is true. That helps. And even meet new friends, because sometimes I meet other friends through, like,
other
the Alma boys. Yeah, through other friends.
Friends through friends.
Yeah, so I've met some boys in GR that I'd like to visit and hang out with sometime. And
yeah, that'd be fun.
I think that'd be fun next time we go back to do.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like I just have friends that are, like, super deep, and if you're not super deep of a friend with me, then I just don't friend you. I don't have, like, what is that word? Acquaintances?
Acquaintances?
Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of the word. I have a doctorate, folks, don't worry. Yeah, I just don't have any of those, really. It's like either you're my friend, or you're just another person. Which sounds just terrible. But, I don't know, I have deep friend relationships. And you do, too. I'm not saying you don't, but you just kind of like...
You're saying all my friends are surface level, huh?
No, you broaden the net a bit.
Yeah.
Friends with your friends.
That
but
is
I don't count them as, like, just my friends.
True.
But
my friends would consider you their friends.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. They've had to deal with me for almost 10 years now.
Yeah, at this point, it's like they kind of know you're going to be around for a while, so...
Yeah, that's very true, but that was a lot for just being, like, our origin story. That was kind of all over the place, I think, but hopefully you learned a little bit about us in that little time. Thanks for hanging out with us and hearing the first chapter of our story. We've got lots more to share, such as, like, city swaps, therapy fails, awkward landlord stories, and maybe a few travel meltdowns along the way.
Yeah, if you're living life on the move, or you just love love, we hope you'll stick around.
If you're loving the podcast, be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. And if you know someone diving into travel healthcare, pass this episode along to help them get a head start.
In the next episode, we'll discuss what it really takes to move every 13-ish weeks and keep your relationship intact. So get ready for some real talk.
Keep loving.
Keep laughing.
And most importantly,
keep taking the next step.